Here in Google Classroom, there's an assignment called Ticklebot Complete. So if I click on here, we'll click View Instructions, and it says add a short video clip of your Ticklebot to this assignment. You will, or your teacher will, record your Ticklebot working and upload the video to this assignment along with the code for your Ticklebot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out to the Ticklebot instructions and just explain a couple of things before I move on. Inside here you have how to build your Ticklebot, and you can go through here and there's the construction of your Ticklebot along with the code. I recommend that you do not use this code. The code that I recommend that you do use is this right here where it says Ticklebot V2. So if I click on there, there is our code for our Ticklebot. I'm going to make some minor changes to this code and show you how this all works. So if I go back, Ticklebot Complete assignment, click View Instructions here. Right here is a link to the Make Code Work environment. So I'll click on that. Click New Project right here. And I'll call this Ticklebot Demo. And I'll click Create. All right, so here we have Make Code open. Because it's easier for you to see, I'm just going to toggle back and forth between the screens instead of making a split screen. So let's see what our code is. Set PO to touch mode capacitive, servo right pin P1 to 90. So PO, that stands for pin 0, P1 stands for pin 1. Like I said, I'll explain what those mean in a moment. But if we go to Make Code, those pins can be found if I click on Advanced. I'll scroll down. There's pins. And what I have to do is I have to click More. And then all the way at the bottom, it says Set PO to touch mode capacitive. So that's what I want. I'm going to grab that and put that in Start. I'll move this forever over a little bit. Then we need a right pin, and that will be right here if I click Pins. So right now I'm in More, so I'm going to click Pins, and we're looking for this one right here, Set Right Pin PO to 180. So I'll click there and put that right here. I'm going to change this to P2, and you'll see why in a moment. And we're going to put this to 90. Let's take a look at our instructions. So there we have that like that. And now let's do the forever loop. And once again, the only difference so far is right here where I have servo right pin, it says P2. For mine, the directions say P1. We're going to go to loops. And inside of loops, we're going to grab the second block, which is while false do. Let's go back over to our instructions. While pin PO is pressed, that's going to be an input. And I'll scroll down. So it's right here while pin PO is pressed. I'll snap that in where the false is. And then we're going to use this exact same block here. So I'm just going to duplicate that and put that in there. We'll go into basic and we'll grab the pause. So that's 100 milliseconds. Milliseconds is less than a second. So I'm going to make that 200 milliseconds. And I'm going to duplicate this code. It's going to be the exact same. And let's go back to the instructions. It says servo right pin, that says P1. Remember, ours is P2. 70 and 110. So if I go back, I'm going to make this 90 a 70. I'm going to make this 110. Once you've done this, you're going to connect your microbit to your computer and download it. So I'll connect my microbit. It's my computer. My microbit is connected. Not sure if you can hear that, but it's making a little bit of noise. This folder popped up. I'm going to minimize this folder because this folder is actually, I believe, might be an easier way to get your code onto your microbit. So I'll just minimize that. I'm going to download the program. And this is going to go into my downloads folder, so I'll just click Save. I could also pair it. And most of us have done this before. So if I click there, it tells us what that, and then if I click pair, and then click connect, and then it says done, and you could just download that, and that should go right to your microbit. However, this might be a little bit easier for some of us. So if you remember, that went to my downloads folder. So if I open my downloads folder, and I open the microbit, then what I can do is I can take that code and drag that code right over to my microbit. And what you'll see is you see it copying. And I'm not sure if you could have heard that noise or not, but that noise that was on the microbit is not making any noise anymore because it's copying it to the microbit. So now that is on my microbit. And now if I connect my microbit using the wires, then we should have a working program. So what we'll do is let's test this out, and I'll show you how to connect the wires and do all of that. You have the servo wires coming out of the back. So we're going to just program one. I will explain how to program two, but we'll program one. And what's important is you have 3 wires coming out from your servo going into this one port where you're going to plug everything in. What's important to remember is the brown is your ground wire, the red is your power, and this orange color wire, that's actually the servo motor. What you're going to do is you're going to take these small wires and plug them in. And this is where it's important to remember the colors that you're plugging in. So I have this black wire. I'm going to plug this in so that it corresponds with the brown servo motor, or the power part. I'm going to take the white one and plug that in with the red. Remember, that's the power. And the orange, I have the yellow wire. That's my actual servo motor. I'm going to plug that in with the motor. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your alligator clips and connect those with the wires. This could be a little bit tricky. You want to make sure that these are nice and firm so that they don't come off. But we have I'm connecting my yellow to my yellow, my white to my white, and the black to the black. It doesn't matter what color they are, so as long as the colors correspond. Now, when we look at the microbit has all of these circles. These are called pins. And if you remember in the program that we created, what we did was we programmed it to set capacitative mode to 0, the pin, and then we set the servo mode to pin 2. So the power, which is connected to my black, I'm going to take the black alligator clip, or not the power, but the ground is my black alligator clip. I'm going to connect that to the ground part of the microbit. The power would go right here to the 3 volt, and the power is the white, which is the center one. I'll connect that. And if you remember, we programmed servo number 2. So I'm going to connect that right here. And then there's one more thing that we have to connect, and that is on our Ticklebot. On our Ticklebot, we'll connect in the back where the wires are coming out, we have some aluminum foil back there. I'll connect that there. And we'll connect this to the port 0, because that will get it to work. Remember, it's while port 0 is pressed, that's when this will work. So I'm going to plug in my battery for my microbit, and if I tickle it, I'm going to plug in my microbit for my battery. Now if I tickle it, then the hand should work. So if you notice, remember we only programmed 1 wire or 1 motor, but if you look there, you can see that the arm is moving. And it's kind of moving in a kind of a weird way. I'm not sure why. I have to go back and check my program. But what I'm doing is when I touch the foot, that servo motor moves. If I let go, it's supposed to stop. If I touch the foot again, it works. So I'm here in Google Classroom, and what I want to do now is I'm going to go over to that assignment, Ticklebot Complete, and you're going to have to do a couple of things. So I'll just open that up. And what you want to do is, first of all, add your code. So I'll click Add or Create, and I'll click File. If you remember, my code is inside of my downloads folder on my computer. So I'll just click downloads, go to my downloads folder, and there's my code right there. I'll just click there and click open, and that will be added. And then the last thing that you need to do is you need to take a video. So either you can take a video, we have video cameras inside of the school, or you could ask your teacher to help you record the video of your Ticklebot working. Once that is recorded, you could add that, you'll add that to your computer, and then you'll upload that video also. When you're done, you'll turn that in. If you have any questions, you can send me an email or a comment in Google Classroom.